Welcome to Paranomious, where the shadows whisper and true stories blur the line between reality and nightmare. Every encounter shared here is real and far more disturbing than fiction. Dare to listen?
Just as good exists, so does evil. The narrator has always believed that both sides deserve respect. They were never the type to glorify wickedness or meddle with things that belonged to the paranormal world. To them, such things were better left unknown, unexplored, and undisturbed. But sometimes, curiosity can gnaw at the mind, making the need to know irresistible. And when one steps too close to that line, they risk drawing its attention. The narrator once worked at a senior living home, a large building with 3 floors in use. 2 of those floors housed seniors who were still able to care for themselves, while the 3rd was a memory care unit. It only took a single night of work for the narrator to realize that the memory care floor carried an unsettling presence. Something about that level felt off. From then on, the narrator tried to keep shifts mostly to the 1st and 3rd floors. Even then, strange things began happening. Several nights in a row, the elevator on the 3rd floor would open and close on its own. At first, the narrator thought nothing of it, assuming someone must have been stepping in or out. But each time they went to look, the doors were closing, and nobody was there. One night, at around 3:20 a.m., the sound became too constant to ignore. Tired of hearing the elevator doors opening and closing throughout the night, the narrator approached the med tech on duty and asked which resident had been leaving the floor so often. The med tech gave a puzzled look, as if the narrator had spoken in another language. "Nobody leaves this floor during the night," she said. The narrator chuckled nervously, trying to hide the unease creeping into their mind. "Well, someone is, because that elevator hasn't stopped opening and closing." The medtech brushed it off, saying the building was old and the elevator might just be faulty. Smiling politely, the narrator chose not to press the matter further. But deep down, a lingering thought remained. What if it wasn't just a malfunction? The following night, the narrator heard the elevator again. But this time, there was something different. Along with the usual chime of the doors, there came a rattling sound, like the weight of a person stepping inside. The narrator's curiosity took over, and they went to investigate. By the time they arrived, the doors had already closed, leaving no trace of anyone inside. Determined, the narrator decided to wait nearby, leaning against the wall, watching, listening. Minutes passed, nothing happened. Frustration built up, and eventually they rolled their eyes and stepped into the bathroom. But the moment they came back out, the sound was there again. Metal clanking, weight shifting, doors sliding. The elevator was moving as if someone had just gotten in. This time, the narrator was close enough. All it would take was a few steps forward. Heart pounding, they forced themselves to look. The doors were closing, slowly, and inside, there was no one, not a single soul. Later, a resident confided to the narrator that the building had always been strange. Long before it became a senior living home, it had once been a hotel back in the early 60s. Perhaps that explains some of the unease, or perhaps not. Maybe it was simply the tricks of a tired mind late into the hours of an overnight shift. But maybe, just maybe, there was something else. something unseen, something that had never left, something that considered the old building its home, and the people inside nothing more than temporary guests. So what do you think? Was it all in the narrator's imagination, or was something far more sinister sharing those halls? If you enjoyed this chilling encounter, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you know someone who would appreciate a good scare, be sure to share this story with them too.